born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
The enemy within. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. The Justice Department charging an Army private with endangering his unit by sharing sensitive information with an extremist group.
Prosecutors released the unsealed indictment showing that Ethan Melzer is believed to have given the group, said to be comprised of white supremacists and neo-Nazis, access to location and potential movement of his Army unit in an attempt to lure them into an ambush. He's charged with trying to kill U.S. nationals and soldiers and with supporting terrorism. Prosecutors say Melzer branded himself a traitor to his country. He joined the extremist group he aided about a year after enlisting in the Army. Some of the charges could land Melzer in prison for life if he's convicted. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
California, one of several states seeing an uptick in cases of COVID-19, with more than a third of cases in the state surfacing in the past 14 days.
We ever have to toggle back on these stay-at-home orders and revert back to where we were just a few months ago. We don't intend to do that. We don't want to do that. But I want to make this clear. We are prepared to do that if we must.
Governor Gavin Newsom, last week, he signed an order making face coverings mandatory in public. Senate Democrats are signaling their opposition to a police reform bill that's expected to have a procedural vote Wednesday.
Here in the Senate, our Republican colleagues have responded to our comprehensive proposal with an approach that is piecemeal and half-hearted. And the longer you look at the Republican policing reform effort, the more obvious the shortcomings and deficiencies.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, at least 7 Democrats would need to side with Republicans for the measure to be passed. America is listening to Fox News.
"2020 has been a gut punch to American business. We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Astronauts to the moon.
Ten, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Not to get off track here, but I feel like we're in the Truman Show and we're in a snow globe and they just shook it up.
Welcome to reality.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, your current reigning, defending, and unarguably, without any doubt, the #1 show on Truth Frequency Radio on Monday nights between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 to 11 Eastern. I'm your host, Jeran from Jeranism. And joining me are some co-hosts because I couldn't do it on my own. I need David Weiss here. David, is it currently 100 degrees where you're at and 6 p.m.? No, huh? It's just me. All right. Well, David, are you there?
Oh, I like talking on mute in the first section now instead of the second section. It's my favorite thing to do.
Wherever you want. It's fine.
It was 90 degrees and very humid today, but luckily I was on the water and it was very beautiful.
Oh, nice. Out on the boat?
Yes, sir.
That would help if I had an ocean near me where I could do that. But yeah, it's like 102 right now, and it's 6 p.m. That's no fun. So it tells you how hot it was all day. And then I'm looking at the days ahead: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 103, 104, 103, 104. So it looks like a fun week coming up for me. But I'll deal with it. I'll get through it, even though I don't like to use the air conditioning as much as possible. We also have joining us Jason Lingren. Jason, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you doing, my friend?
Besides the heat, I'm doing well. And
well, I'm in Louisiana. I know all about heat.
Yeah, it's not too much fun, is it?
Very humid here.
And we also have Rose. Rose, what's up?
Hello, hello. What's up?
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I didn't get to catch the Bitches Brew last night. What did I miss?
Oh, it was really great. Beth Martins was an excellent leader of our traveling female flat earth Y chromosome challenged panel. And we basically had this little discussion between myself, Beth, and Cammie Nodell and Karen B on just what it's like to put yourself out there and just be one of those people talking.
To be one of the crazies?
Well, in the eyes of many who are not informed.
Right. Exactly. What is this, David, you sent me? Oh.
Rose and I are going to flat smack cousin Mike tomorrow. Rose's cousin. Rose, tell us some more about it.
Nice.
Okay, well, cousin Mike, we have been very close from an early age. He's about 5 years older than me, and he thinks that flat Earth is absolutely insane. He doesn't believe that I believe it. And it should be very interesting. The reason this started was because he actually listened to David on Sergeant Report, and he does not think that the rat is suspect at all. So this should be really interesting.
You know what's great, though, is Sean, who wanted to talk about the rat, myself, and cousin Mike all agree we don't believe it's a rat.
Right. But he doesn't think that it's suspect or worth discussing.
It's going to be worth discussing. It's going to be great. Nothing better than flat smacking a relative, especially when they don't know that you are a full-fledged ball denier.
Exactly. So I'm going to come out to my cousin tomorrow, and I'm going to make it abundantly clear, and I'm going to explain to him all of the factual reasons.
Nice. Those are some of my favorite videos when you guys do that. So look at
that. I love it.
That's David's bread and butter right there, man.
That is. Even cousin Mike, he doesn't have an audience, but that's okay, because when we do this to cousin Mike, what it really does is everyone that's listening live, or 99% of them, are flat earthers already. And what it does is it helps us all get better at our personal flat smacking, when we're on an elevator with somebody or wherever, in a car, in an Uber. It helps us all get better at introducing people to, the helio-nonsensical deception.
Absolutely. So next time you're at Thanksgiving dinner, you can kind of remember back to how did they go about it? What kind of things did they bring up? I think that totally is perfect. It does help. Because people need to know how. They don't know how.
I'm learning every day. I get better. I was just looking at this cool video, and in the video, it was one of those beautiful mountain, snow-covered mountain shots with the perfectly glass lake mirroring the mountains, right? We've seen all those.
Sure.
And I think that's all you need. You show someone that picture, tell them to stare at that picture, tell them to think about that water. Think about how incredibly still it is, and then start describing what the Earth is supposedly doing.
Water should be sloshing up on the shore, bulging in 4 different directions.
Yeah, we should, in the great words of Taboo Conspiracy 2, you know how you know we're not on a ball? Come on.
Because we'd all be dead. I thought you were going for the punchline. You wanted me to throw it out there.
No, that was for you.
It's so true.
It's one of the greatest lines ever.
It just wouldn't possibly happen. I mean, how do you know? Yeah, I mean, if you had a vacuum above us and we have all this atmosphere here, it'd be gone. I mean, there's so many things that would just tell you we would be dead. It's so true. Thank you for the super chats, by the way. Bobon with some super stickers or whatever they're called. And Luke Anderson says, love you guys. Gratitude. Another combat veteran flat earth truther here. I made a rap you might like. Search Luke Anderson. The song is called Every Devil Has His Day. Can't miss the devil horn sunrise. All right. Hey, Russian Vids is here. RV.
RV.
Maybe not. He said he was here, but
he said he's here. Figure out your mics. Hang tight. We got a few things to talk about, and then jump in at any time.
There's one thing I wanted to add about Mike. He does wear a mask, which is very concerning, and so I haven't spoken to him very much recently, but I'm glad to reconnect, because even though he wears a mask, I just want to open the door to Flat Earth, because if he understood that deception, then maybe he wouldn't be falling into scientism. He is actually the person who sent me the video Zeitgeist, where there's 3 parts. It goes over religion, right, the Federal Reserve, and 9/11. So he considers himself a truth seeker.
But just won't go as far as ever considering this space. So he believes that they're lying to us about things that we can test, we can verify, we can go check up on, but about outer space, distances we'll never go, miles we can never comprehend. That's what they're telling us the truth about. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Man, come on. We all know for the longest time how hard it is to let go of the whole NASA thing. I mean, that broke my heart, as I've said so many times before. When I first started realizing it with the moon, I was like, God damn it, they're lying to us. They made this shit up.
I could just picture you throwing things in your room, just bouncing things off the wall, just pissed.
I to be honest with you, I just had this, if you want to know the absolute truth, this was probably about, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe. Quite some time ago, I'm taking a guess. And I literally just had this heart, how do you describe it? Like the sinking feeling in where they call your heart. Like I just felt it start and go down into my stomach, and I was like, oh my God, all this shit that I've loved forever, it's all bullshit.
Yep, all of it. Every bit of it. Hey, the Cousin Mike thing is tomorrow on the Rose 777 channel at 4 p.m. Eastern. Kind of a weird time, but that's what we're doing. 4 p.m. Tuesday on the Rose 777 channel. If you can't catch it live, catch it on the replay and listen to it at double time. Twice as good.
Makes David sound smart. Try it.
It does.
I listened to you on SGT. Great job, as always.
Oh, that was a really fun one. And Sean, hats off to Sean. People like Sean, Mel Fabregas, other big shows that, they have these audiences that they built up for years. And when you start talking flat Earth, you piss off a lot of sleeping people. But these guys have both realized, I'm talking about Mel and Sean, and I'm sure there's others that I'm not thinking of right now, or there's plenty. There's plenty, but we'll get to those. They're going out there, they're having the discussion, and if you look at the comments, he's got thousands of comments, and they're generally good. And there's people in there asking real questions, not trolls.
Right.
And I spent about 4 hours this morning responding, and giving links like, hey, here's this, here's that, here's the ODD 21 questions. I also linked Taboo Conspiracy's presentation, his 45-minute presentation of flat Earth proofs, in a lot of my responses, and the replies I'm getting are excellent. They're like, whoa, and they're taking the next step. So that show right there is converting a lot of people, and because of it, my app jumped to number 5 in the United States.
Yeah, I saw that
under utilities, but. That's all right.
Yeah, it's not going to be there under games, but still, we'll take it. The thing I saw a lot of comments from people is a lot of people saying, hey, I'm not quite there with Flat Earth yet, but I know that SpaceX and NASA are bullshit. That's step one.
Yeah, that is step one. And I know what I thought about it. And whenever I'm doing something on NASA or SpaceX, I should say, this doesn't prove that the Earth is flat. This just proves that they're faking this. Flat Earth is another topic. So, I wasn't there talking about SpaceX to prove the Earth is flat. Right. I was talking about SpaceX to prove that it's fake X.
Right. RV, are you there yet? I think he's.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for the invite. For everybody listening in, it was an unexpected invite. I was just on Skype with someone else. All of a sudden, I get a call, and anyways, I'm here.
We left you on from last week. We had a long discussion, heated debate whether we should remove you from the call. And I said, you know what, leave him on because he never has Skype on anyway. And if he happens to join, he happens to join. But just kidding. Welcome.
All good. Thanks, David. I appreciate that, Jeran, and I appreciate the unexpected invite. Fantastic. I'm glad to be on here. There's so much going on, and I'm glad to join in the conversation.
RB,
as always.
you have this leads us into another topic I want to talk about. Sure. You have a regular show on the Midnight in the Desert network. Is that true?
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And I'm going to be on with PK tonight.
You and PK tonight.
Yeah, midnight Eastern Standard Time. It'll be PK and I. We'll be talking about, of course, all the happenings. Of course, we're going to reflect in the past, a lot of past psychological operations, but of course, cover a lot of the happenings that are going on today and the present. Not looking forward, but looking forward to what this all is going to lead to. And that's what I'm always looking at. It's not just talking about now, but where is this nonsense leading to? Where are they bringing us? And that's what I'm really focusing on.
So that's on midnight on your show. Does PK have his own show also on the network?
That's a work in progress. We're working on that, but I have mine, and PK hopefully sooner than later he'll have his own established show as well. We're working on that.
Where do people tune into this? Sorry, Jeran.
Yes, go to Dark Matter Media. Just Google that. You'll come across it. You'll have myself. There's also Lift the Veils there, who did an interview with David Icke recently, and a lot more happening with others as well. Jordan Maxwell is on the network, and there's others also there. Just again, Dark Matter Media.
Radio.
Yeah. So Nathan, the only show I've heard so far, besides your original interview with IPS, which surprisingly, not because of you, I was amazing. Was really, truly amazing. I thought it was one of the best interviews I've heard in a very long time.
Thank
you.
Nathan
Stoltman, he I like the way that guy rolls. His mind. I don't agree with a lot that he says, but I really like when he talks. And because of that, Jeran and I have agreed on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, midnight Eastern, midnight Wednesday night, Jeran and I are going to be on with Nathan for 3 hours.
Yeah, I look at it this way. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Some people are better hosts. Some people are just better with the information. Maybe they're not as articulate. But, again, everybody's playing a role in this, and that's the important aspect that I look at, and I don't focus on someone's flaws. I look at their strengths and try to really get the best out of people. And that's getting back to what you said, David, about IPS and I in our interview. I had a lot of positive comments from a lot of people saying it was, they loved the interview. It was one of my best and all this and that. Well, everybody played their role as far as IPS, fantastic interviewer. And I just, him and I work good together. And just a matter of someone asked the right questions and, given, if you have the information, you have the knowledge, you respond accordingly. But again, it's really important to set up the pace of the interview with a good interviewer. It's very important.
Here, just to jump into the boiling pot here, when you say the name IPS, it has the same reaction to many flat earthers, lovely flat earthers, as saying Alex Jones to you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this about, with IPS and all, this, I'm just being very transparent. He's been tremendous with me on the show itself, on the network. We've had our issues in the past. We put that aside. We put a lot of the drama on the back burner. He said things about me I didn't appreciate, but, I'm looking past that and moving forward. And, I want to get away, like I said, the previous, discussion we had about, all the so-called show calling is get past that and just move forward. And again, when it comes to all the show calling, to me, it's spinning wheels. It's not progressing anything. Yes, it's important to, like, for example, I might talk about someone like Bill Cooper, talk about him, in his past and someone that maybe is not trustworthy, but I'm not going to harp on it too long. And again, we want to be like 99% truth and maybe address a few individuals here and there, but not make that the topic and keep harping on it, you know?
I'm just real excited about it because this is kind of something that I've wanted to see for a long time. And yeah, Truth Frequency Radio does a pretty good job of it. But I just like bringing together all these guys that I've been listening to forever, with PK, with you, with Nathan Stolman. Him and I used to do a show together. I think he searches things really, thoroughly. IPS, same kind of deal. I like hearing these guys. So the thought that there's going to be a new, station where basically all these people are going to be is great, and I hope people support it any way they can, and it's free. So at the same time, I mean, you can support it if you want to get archives, but as far as listening to something where you can just tune in at any time and pick up a show, whether it's PK, whether it's RV, that's darkmatter.radio. What time is your show, RV, and what days are you on?
Well, right now I'm on tonight, like I said, at 12 Eastern time. Right now it's Tuesday and Thursday. Well, actually it's every day because my archives are applying, but we're looking at Tuesday and Thursday as far as live shows at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But again, this is a work in progress. We're just getting this network started up, so that might change. So don't pin me down to that. But like I said, a work in progress. We have a schedule, but things come up. Like tonight, honestly, it wasn't planned. It was just kind of like a last minute thing, put things together. And again, as we move forward with the network, it's going to be a smoother transition. Just like opening up a restaurant, working out the kinks when you first open up and until you get everything down, everything goes smooth type of thing.
All right. Well, good luck with it. I'm hoping you guys do well, and I think it's something that a lot of people want. So I think it should.
Well, here's the thing is, Jeran, the very important thing is people to understand about this network is it's uncensored. Nothing is off topic, and it's safe. It's not like certain platforms, no names mentioned, certain platforms where you got to be very careful what you say. This is no holds barred, anything goes kind of discussions, and it's going to be saved and without any kind of mixing words,
Tell us the website. What's the easy way? Like, I've already forgotten where it is. Is it Dark Matter Network? Is it the Dark Web?
Darkmatter.radio is the easiest way to go.
Exactly. If you have any issues, just simply Google Dark Matter, media at on a Google search, come up right away at the very top, and you'll see it right there.
Yeah, so darkmatter.radio, and then people can just hit the play button at the top and listen to whatever's live. So I thought, not to confuse everybody, but I thought Nathan Stolman was doing Monday through Thursday from 9 to midnight, so I expected him to be on tonight. You're saying that you're going to be on at 9 p.m. and 7 a.m.?
Because Roger Stone was supposed to appear. He had to reschedule, so...
Okay, gotcha.
Basically filling in. So, we're kind of, like I said, moving forward. Unexpectedly, I had to kind of fill in the...
I told Dave that with so many show hosts and so many different guests, you're going to be jumbling and filling in. The schedule is going to be all over the place, which is fine. It is what it is. But you're going to have people that need to move shows every other day or every day.
Yes.
So it's good. All right, I'm looking forward to that. And Jeran, we're going to have a good show with Nathan on Wednesday night.
So darkmatter.radio, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 midnight. You'll have to hear David Weiss. I don't know how he's going to stay up. I mean, he's at the end of this show, he's falling asleep, the old man.
Dave Weiss is good. You know what? You should try doing what I do all day long. Come on.
Do a bunch of cocaine? Oh,
what's that? No, I don't do that. That would work though.
Say, well, yeah.
I will be crisp and ready to go tomorrow. So, or 2 days from now, whatever it is.
Wednesday.
Whenever it is.
Nice.
It's Wednesday, but it's really Thursday.
So Dave, did you see this bullshit? I think Rodrigo sent over some
song.
Yeah, the song. What the hell's going on?
So is it real? Is that real?
I don't know. According to this person, he says, I just pulled this out of my son's bag. They're learning this for an assembly. Can you bring it up on the show, and can you please sing a couple bars, or maybe we should all sing together? Because I started reading it, and I'm like, it's one of those enchantment things where they're what is it when they do a ritual or when they chant something, it really sounds like it's invoking Yeah.
invoking, energy.
I can get out my guitar if you want, because there's chords on here.
Let's see here. Is there chords on there?
Yeah, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, G.
All right, stop.
Oh my God, is this Wonderwall?
Put it up on the screen.
Okay.
And Jason and Rose sing it with the guitar. While you're doing that, while you're setting that up, can you do that, Jason? Is that all right?
You have to give me a minute. I just have to get in
I'll give you a minute. You might have to do it right after the break.
Right.
I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing. A week from Wednesday, I'm going on a retreat with a whole bunch of guys. James True, Dr. Andrew Kaufman, Freeman Fly, Amanda who's been on the Globuster show. She's going to be there. And a dozen other people. And we're going up into the mountains, up in Woodstock, New York, or next to Woodstock, New York. And it's a 4-day campfires and discussion. So I'm going to be testing out my new gimbaled selfie stick and doing some videos, maybe some live streams, and having some good old conversations.
Nice. Those guys better all come back flat earthers. Well, I think they mostly are.
Most of them are, except Freeman Fly. So Freeman is gonna. I am convinced he'll be a globe denier minimum.
Is there a way to zoom into pictures on Skype?
Yeah, double click it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
You may, huh?
Yeah, so she should be able to see better now. Okay, good.
So say a couple. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to use it as the backdrop for my next video if Jason does a good job.
I hope it's Wonderwall, because then we know the melody.
Yeah. How about the thing on Google? If you Google any 3-digit number and write new cases, any number, so you'll come up with an article or something about that number of new cases of COVID.
Yeah, I saw
Don't even write COVID
today.
I tried it. I tried 999, 837, 296, and so there's a story for every number. What are the odds of that?
My only question on that, David, with the amount of cities that there are in the United States, right, and the amount of countries
in the world,
right, wouldn't there be an article written about every number?
The odds of every number, that number of new cases?
Yeah,
I mean, we haven't done every number. I guess it could be 95% or whatever, and I don't know.
I don't know either. I was trying to figure it out in my head, and I couldn't really think. But I was like, I guess I could see every. I mean, there's how many cities in just California? There's like 2,000 cities.
Yeah. I guess it could be. Hey, Jason and Rose, we're gonna test your musical talents. You have 3 minutes during the break to perfect this and nail it on try 1.
Okay, so I'll go into the room with him. Okay.
All right. Here we go.
I don't know exactly what the melody's supposed to be. I'm just kind of making this up.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Let's take turns. You start it off.
You guys want to practice during the break? You have 3 or 4 minutes. We're coming up on a break.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to go to his room.
Something like that.
I think it's insidious that they're having kids sing about this. It's like, planes must hit steel on 9/11.
Yeah, totally.
Kids, energy, chanting these things.
So, wait a second. This is starting to sound familiar. I wonder if they're ripping off another song.
Figure it out through the break.
Scary tonight. The future's not so bright.
It's It's amazing how people have been raving about iAlife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iAlife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil, but the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iAlife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to ialife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's ialife.com. AYA life.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Thank you for joining us. We're about to have a musical performance, which should be tremendous. You can sing at home if you want, although I don't think you should. It's going to feel very gross, David. That's all I got to say.
Can I sing along too?
No.
That'll make it really gross.
So I have one little
gross,
problem
how
with
dare
this.
you? How dare you?
Tell us your problem.
Some of these words don't seem to work into the timing properly. Whoever wrote this is fairly incompetent.
I think we can still make it work, Jason. I believe in us.
Sure.
Right.
Whatever you want.
I got the lyrics up on screen.
All right, let me get closer.
I mean, God, if I'm going to be put on the spot, I'd rather play one of my own freaking songs that actually sounds good.
Yeah, but this is going to be entertaining, okay?
That's true. That's true.
And you can play one of your songs after, too. Nobody's going to be back.
All right, you want to do this?
we'll lean a little positivity. All right, guys, here's Jason Rose with COVID-19. Remember, this was supposed
Oh, I just realized at the very, very tippy top it says capo 3rd fret. Let me do that. It's going to change the key. It's going to kick it up to there. Yeah, whatever. All right, start singing after this. You didn't start singing.
Oh, I thought we were doing it together.
and before you guys start singing, we're doing this as a spoof. We are laughing at the elite and their witchcraft, and we are adding no energy to this situation.
No.
Jason, I need you to start me off. Like, I need to, you start it, and then I'll, trust me, you know me, I'll take it away. But I just need you to
everybody
give me this.
just is that this COVID-19 is the biggest joke they've ever heard. It's stupid, and anybody wearing a mask is equally. So here we go, and let's put that energy towards it.
All right.
Future's not so bright. There's the killer ray. Message was clear today. We've been forced to the break against this pandemic on the scene. This show set out to control. That day young and old. I think that's enough.
Wow. What is with the line officials set out to control?
Yeah, right. I picked up on that.
And the
right. So here's a question for everybody. If your kid came home with that stuffed in his knapsack, what would you do?
Homeschool.
That's it. The kid's never going back to school. Ever.
We can't take sides and blame, though, Dave, and it's not fair to shame. Many people dying alone, connecting to family only by phone. Okay?
That's Boys and girls, repeat after me, okay? Mr. Lindgren is teaching the class. Social engineering. Okay, your turn.
Please stay calm and isolate. Let's be smart and don't congregate.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I feel like people are going to look back on this song, like if someone found that piece of paper, they would look back on it and frown in the same way that people frown at different things that we see from, I don't know, did the Nazis sing songs? I think they sang songs. If we found like a song, a Nazi song written
Everybody sings
in like
songs.
Mein Kampf.
Sing songs. Yeah, practice your social distancing. Penalties applied for not listening. What the hell? I can't imagine this being real. I still cannot.
I can't imagine it not being real. Look at it.
COVID-19, COVID-19, 19. Wowzers. Yeah. This is, I mean, if you ever need more reason why you wouldn't send your children to school, and this was posted and said this person found it in their child's backpack. Oops, am I still on the screen? Just pulled this out of my son's bag. They are learning this for an assembly. I will be emailing the school regarding this BS. What else are they being fed without our knowledge?
Greg F. in chat says I should bring that for one of our campfire songs. I think I'll be thrown out if I do that. All right, I'm printing it out right now.
Oh, boy. This is classic. This is really great stuff.
Well, that was a little embarrassing.
You did awesome.
You did awesome. Rose was horrible.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear because once I started playing, it was too loud in my room.
Really? It was that bad?
No, Rose. I was just because you said you laughed at me, so I was just being mean to you.
Don't listen.
Oh, okay. I don't remember laughing at you.
What did I just see? Somebody sent a video. Was that you, RV? What is this video of, RV? You want to preface it?
We don't hear you again, RV.
I think you're on mute.
I sent an article earlier, if that's what you're talking about.
No, RV just sent a video. I'm about to pull it up. I don't know.
Oh, you guys hear me?
There we go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. What is going on?
Sorry about that. I don't know why it dropped out again. Yeah, this is
the cop.
more ridiculous nonsense, and this is regarding the whole George Floyd thing. And this is one of the cops who was at the that Cub store.
Right.
That, this all went down. Have you guys seen this or discussed this at all?
I haven't discussed it. I saw a little bit of it. So explain what happened. So this is one of the cops that was kneeling on George Floyd, right? Not Chauvin, but then another one supposedly. And he's just out shopping and somebody's confronting him.
Yeah, and he's holding. It's always about the symbol, holding the Oreos, the black and white. People might laugh and say, "Oh, it's nonsense," but they love to have their little symbolism. He's holding a package of Oreo cookies. It's the black and the white, symbolism type thing. He's being confronted, and as a cop, usually cops are pretty aggressive. They stand their ground. He just seems like a complete wimp in this situation, like, groveling down, just kind of just seems so weak, while this woman patronizes him the whole entire time, is calling basically a murder and this and that, and you shouldn't have made bail, just really lashing out. And this is, I always say this, when the foundation's off, everything after that is off as well. And this is what I'm getting at 100% stage.
RB, I heard Brian from High Impact Flicks was analyzing this a little bit last night on a live stream on DLive. And don't you think that this is just, again, to fuel the riots against the police, to fuel the race riots? I said that Chauvelin, or whatever the cop's name is, he's going to get off. They're all going to be let go. And this is the beginning of it, just to fuel the riots.
Well, that's a strong possibility. Sometimes you have to expect the unexpected, but the damage is being done right now. If they want full out chaos, yeah, they'll do that. But here's the big thing is that will basically, let all the cops go, all four of them supposedly, is the fact that they said the autopsy report stated that basically it wasn't, he wasn't basically choked out. He died of other causes. So that's the controversy right there. It wasn't because of asphyxiation. It was due to other means. And that's the reason, literally, they're going to say, hey, he had pre-existing conditions. In a normal situation, he would have survived. And something to that effect where they'll basically let, these cops will be set free. And, of course, the chaos will be much worse than we see now. But here's the big thing is, it's like a movie where they got to keep it rolling. They love to keep the fire burning. This is just another log in the fire. They constantly add, for example, years ago when I was covering the Trayvon Martin nonsense, I mean, every week George Zimmerman was in the news for doing something. He's in a confrontation in the middle of the road. He's the next week he's doing this, and the next week he's doing that, and the cops are called. They're just keeping the fire burning, and this is how they're doing it. And also too with the that one guy, the Rayshard guy, I believe it was in Atlanta, the Wendy's. Yeah. Another thing to keep the fire burning, and so they don't want this to simmer down. So they know. Look at
the picture. Look at the picture we have on the screen right now. The Oreos have an upside down pentagram.
Yeah, they have the pentagram.
And then look at his beard. Does that look like painted on?
Yeah, it looks like it almost looks like he's in. This is just for the world stage. This is not something he normally has, but. After the fact, maybe he can remove and they won't recognize him. But whatever the case is, what I find interesting is this Oreo is like a what you see with the pentagram on it is a limited edition, and I looked it up. It has to do with the Olympics. I forgot where it was. I think it's in Japan. I could be off. I forgot exactly where it was, but it might lead to like a continuation, something happening during the Olympics. Like they always have some type of drama with the Olympics, some kind of sideshow. So
Right.
maybe nothing, but possibly something with the Olympics as well.
Aren't the Olympics canceled?
They canceled the Olympics.
They canceled it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can throw that out the
Japan's
window.
not too happy about
but that's
it either.
that's a special edition for the Olympics. It has the pentagram. It has, of course, like I said, that symbolism. He's walking around. It's funny. He's just walking
I
around.
would throw it out because now they're going to do it next year. I bet you now they got a little more time to plan whatever they're doing.
I never knew Oreos had a limited edition boxes. I mean,
it looks kind of like a Texas thing, actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like an American flag down here.
Who here doesn't love Oreos? Come on.
I actually don't care for the middle part. I always want to give away the middle part, and some people are cool and they'll eat it even though I touched it, but Jason won't.
I'm not touching that shit. God,
but
Oreos in a long time.
They're so good. I mean, I rarely have them, but when I do, say goodbye to the whole sleeve.
They're good. I don't mind having a couple in some coffee. I don't buy them very often though, because I try not to eat.
I dip them in.
them.
I dip them in. I get raw milk from our farmers market. So when you dip the Oreo in the raw milk, it makes it healthy.
Wow.
I don't think that's the way it works.
God, I miss
it works
get
that
raw.
way, Jeran.
That reminds me of that Cosby joke where he says that cake is made out of eggs and stuff.
That's good. Kids for breakfast.
My daughter brought home a friend's coffee cake. And I'm like, coffee cake, that's baloney. I mean, coffee, it makes it sound like it's good for breakfast. It's a chocolate chip cookie in a bread form. That's all it was. Coffee cake is a deceptive name.
Yes, as like carrot cake?
Yeah, carrot cake. No.
Cake.
But like I said, all these nonsense type of events like this, it just, again, keeping the fire going, and we'll see what happens. But what people have to really understand is when you look at all the cops they were basically thrown in the slammer for this. I mean, that Asian guy, he's just standing in front, and he gets incarcerated supposedly. We know this is all just a bunch of nonsense, but what did he do? Why is he? I mean, being thrown in jail for standing in front and basically, if this was real, not participating in the actual, stepping on or putting his knee on George Floyd. So a lot of things are just nonsense.
They love unrest. They want unrest no matter what it is. They don't care if it's the police, because now you got this thing in Atlanta where the police are calling in sick, right? They're calling it blue flu. Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard about that, blue flu, but wow.
Yeah, so all these cops in Atlanta are calling in sick every night. So they haven't had enough police supposedly these last 3-4 nights, because since these officers were basically arrested. So this is the thing, is they don't care which direction it goes. They don't care whether, like, with the Chauvin thing, if these guys get off, then of course there'll be civil unrest and there'll be more protests. But the other end of the spectrum is okay for them too, which is let's make the cops so that they stop wanting to patrol. They want to defund the police. This is their new moniker, right? Throw that out there, get people excited about that. So then they also want to show people what happens when the police aren't there. So it just seems to me that they unrest no matter which direction it comes from. They don't care.
What's funny, Jeran, is I actually saw 2 videos. I was looking at a lot of these videos where the protesters are getting run over. There's compilations about that on YouTube, and I found it hilarious. 2 videos I came across where these protesters are getting run over, and someone's yelling, "Call the cops! Call the cops!" Just it's hilarious. These people, this liberal type of frame of mind, and we like I said, we know they put this all in action, but just the frame of mind of the general public, these protesters, jumping on cars, expecting, they're like, how dare you run, attempt to run me over or keep driving? The entitlement. It's just a bunch of garbage.
And I'm in the street jumping on your car, of course. Yeah, I'm watching, Dave. I saw all the stuff going on in Holland, which we don't see in the news here. The only reason I'm seeing it is because Mike is sending it, Mike Kavanaugh. But did you see these trucks that they have with the water hose on top?
No, it sounds like fun though.
Oh man, they're just driving. It's like a police truck. It's like a big Bearcat vehicle, but it's got these huge water cannons on top, and they just drive through the park and just blast people. Get out of the way. I never seen anything like it. But what did you?
Sometimes they put stinky stuff in the water, so it makes it not so fun.
Oh no, it's not fun because the people are having to run. I mean, you can't stand there and take it; it will knock you down. So if anybody, people have cameras out there trying to show it. Maybe I can bring up a video of that real quick. What did you send me, Dave?
No, I just sent you a thing where people were fighting the police at a protest. William just sent it to me a little while ago. I was just watching it before the show.
Let's see if I can bring it up.
So Jared and I were talking before the show, and Jared asked me if it's getting better here in New York on the East Coast, and my answer was absolutely not. It's getting worse. How about you guys?
Oh, I can't take it, Dave. I mean, in California, it is absolutely a joke, and I don't even know what to do anymore because now it's required everywhere that you wear a mask. So before it was very easy to take my business elsewhere, right? I even stopped shopping at Costco just because I didn't want to be that person that goes in and says I'm not wearing a mask. So we shopped there once without a mask. That was fine. Then after that, I'm just not going to Costco anymore. I'll take my business elsewhere. Well, now there is nowhere else to take my business.
Well, so you can go to Costco, and if you're nervous about them saying anything, print out their safety page.
It's not nervous about anything. It's just that I liked before when I would take my business elsewhere. That's how I vote with my voice. I don't go in there and bow to them and just say, okay, well, I'm going to be just a guy who says, oh, I have a medical exemption. I still think it's ridiculous that they're requiring masks. So just because I go in there without a mask, that doesn't change anything. They still get my business. They still get everybody else's business.
I agree.
So now I don't know what to do. Now it's like, damn it. Now I got to pick which place I want to go and make a scene at. So and this is happening everywhere. And it was funny because I heard Newsom announce it, I don't know what it was, 3 days ago or whatever. And I told Miss, I'm like, you watch now, all the places we go are going to require masks. She goes, no way. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at the grocery store we go to. We go to a Rayleigh's here that is pretty nice. They've never required masks. And sure enough, we went this morning and there was somebody at the door handing out papers that said it's required. They can turn you away if you don't wear one. And I just said, I've got a medical exemption, and they just let me walk right in. My wife as well. We shopped, but we were the only ones in the entire store without a mask the whole time. So, of course, you get some looks. I don't know if those looks are from people like, oh, how did that person get in here? Or if they're looks like this person needs to be jailed, doesn't care about safety, is very selfish. I'm not sure, but I can't believe the amount of people cucked here. And I'm hearing from everyone in other states. Talked to somebody in Utah today who said that they're not seeing anybody wear any masks. So I'm like, I just need to get out of California. That's probably, I mean, you guys tell me what's going on in Louisiana.
Super chill. It's normal here, except at the supermarkets.
A lot of people wear masks.
Only at the supermarkets, though, and not on the street, not running around. In our neighborhood, I've never seen someone wear a mask in our whole entire subdevelopment. It's only, the only time I've seen people lined up with masks was in front of Trader Joe's. But in our town, I mean, I've seen people in our community selling masks, and I'm guessing it's because people have jobs where they're doing it, and they shouldn't be, but they are.
Dave, I saw this video earlier, but I couldn't figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I was just watching it. I don't know.
Who are these people here? So in a second,
the police are pushing them back.
Okay, so watch right by this yellow. There's this yellow cone here. Okay, this yellow thing. Watch. This guy's being dragged by his foot. Why is he being dragged? And then all of a sudden they let him up, and they keep trying to drag him. Now he runs off, and they go this way. So I'm confused what's going on. I think those are actually police. They're like agitators. Look, they'll be right here. See?
Yeah.
And then they're getting in the police.
Ooh, wow.
They were like the same guys that were just trying to drag that guy by his foot, and now they're getting up. Look, they got masks. They're like Antifa, basically, only in. Well, I don't know what they're doing. I just noticed that, and who are these guys? And then I'll show the other video in a second of the crazy water cannon that I'd never seen anything like it. I'll bring it up here in a second. But yeah, I guess that's all going on in Holland. They're flipping out. They're having protests with police, and we're not hearing about it anywhere here. I'm just seeing it from. I'll try and find that other video.
Well, in Dutch, I would say dat is walgelijk en maakt me erg verdrietig om het op mijn favoriete plek te zien gebeuren, which means that is disgusting, and it makes me very sad to see this happening in my favorite place.
How did you know that? I didn't know you speak a language.
Ik spreek een beetje Nederlands.
Wow. Can't let me try and
I'll
find
ask her something in Japanese.
Why she got that?
Watashi no tomodachi wa Jeran desu, yo.
Oh.
I just said Jeran's my friend, definitely.
Nice. How many languages do you speak? Somewhat.
Yo hablo español también, and then Dutch and Japanese, a little bit of Japanese. Like, I wouldn't be able to get around. I would just say random stuff to make people smile.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah,
I can get around anywhere they speak Spanish. Dos cervezas, por favor, and baños.
Baños. Yeah,
Baños.
It's an enye.
That's all you need, the beer and the bathroom. You're good.
Fair enough. And gracias.
Gracias.
And más queso.
Wie говори по-русски?
Да.
До свидания, камрад.
Charges.
Очень хорошо.
Probeer het leeg te maken. Wij proberen gewoon rustig op een bankje te
Sorry,
blijven
here, I'm
zitten.
trying to bring this up.
Hey Chris. Ga je niet zitten?
So this guy's sitting on a park bench here, and see this is this police van coming. Do I have it showing for everybody?
Ga maar gewoon zitten. We hebben geen opdrachten.
These police are trying to kick people out of this park, and so they're driving forward. But see, this thing's got these huge water jets on top of it, and they just blast people. And of course, you can't just stand there and take that. So as he keeps getting closer here, he'll eventually shoot this guy on the bench, and of course, he'll have to move. Just a little closer here. Just anybody that gets too close, they're just shooting him with these water cannons. And yeah, like I said, you can't stand too close. I don't know why this is going on.
Are you sure they're not just watering the park, the trees?
That's it, yeah.
I've never seen one of these trucks, though. Have you ever seen one of these in the United States at all?
I have.
Really? I didn't even know such thing existed. Yeah. Eric DeLion sent a super chat. He says, Louisiana is not good. The Louisiana governor today said we will not go into phase 3 Friday. We will stay in phase 2 because of 320 new cases last week. We have 4.5 million population in Louisiana. What a joke, is what he said.
I think that
I guess that's because I don't watch the news, that I don't know anything.
It's good.
I think that the severity of what is happening now and what is going to happen all depends on the rate that people are waking up to the globe lie or the flat earth. And if I do a good job like SGT, I have a couple other big interviews coming up. We are going to have a massive second wave or a false flag that I will not solely but partially be responsible for.
Nice. The second wave of flat earthers. I like this one. This is a new second wave.
Yeah. Well,
just wave of flat earthers. That's what we need.
Yeah. I mean, they need to stop the flat earth awakening, because if everyone woke up tomorrow to the flat earth, they're done. They have no more power. People will stop giving their power. They'll stop putting on their face masks. They'll stop paying taxes. They'll stop doing everything. And they can't have that. So they're going to flip the tables over to stop it. That's my opinion. Prove me wrong.
You know, I just, you know, before you say that, you know, of course, David, we always harp on the flat earth, even though all this nonsense is going on. And I'm not going to let all the nonsense that's going on take away from flat earth work. And the video I put out showing demonstrating how, you know, how CBS News put that so-called alignment of, was it Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter, how we can see them all at the same time in the night sky, and literally that's impossible. I made a video on that recently, and I think, again, it's so very important to point out these flaws. And the big thing is, again, I said it before, where, you know, if people understood all the nonsense that's taken place with prior psyops, prior psychological operations, they'll catch on and know, hey, you know, I'm not going to fall for this one. But the problem is there's a certain amount of truthers that are falling for, you know, some of these events are fake, but this one's real type of thing, when they're all put into play and they're all, you know, of course, fabrications.
Yes. I love your videos, RV. I can't wait. Every time a new one comes out, I get so excited because I know that I'm going to be putting more things together just with the visuals and the numbers and the way that you present it. It's awesome.
Thanks, Rose. I appreciate that. Yeah, I you know, I want to get all the information I can out and try to be concise with it. I try not to, you know, waste any time to get right to the information, which I think is very important.
Awesome. We'll be back to talk more Polls don't go anywhere. You're listening to Jeranism.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/signup and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
It will wind down. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Seattle Mayor Jeran DITRH RAW says the city will begin to dismantle the so-called occupied zone known as CHOP after a weekend of violence, adding the violence was distracting from changes sought by peaceful protesters looking to address racial inequity and police brutality.
Protesters took a 17-year-old victim to a hospital before firefighters could help out on Sunday night. Early Saturday morning, 2 other people were shot and a 19-year-old died after police said they were surrounded by an angry mob in the protest zone and couldn't ensure paramedic safety. This man lives in the protest zone.
Someone has died in there. Someone's critically injured in there. Someone's been sexually assaulted in there. My property's been broken into 3 times. Who knows what other crimes have been committed in there. It's absolutely despicable.
The mayor of Seattle says she believes they can create a peaceful environment in the protest area while also taking steps toward a new vision for policing in the city. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Earlier, the White House blasted the mayor of Seattle for allowing the autonomous zone to exist.
And what we have seen so far is absolutely inexcusable inaction from the governor there. An individual died in CHOP, this autonomous zone, this lawless area of the city of Seattle. Another individual was shot.
Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. The Trump administration extending a ban on some visas through the end of the year, including those used by technology companies and multinational corporations. Visas for those in the food service industry would be exempt. An Army private charged in a plot to ambush his own unit. Acting U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss says 22-year-old Ethan Melzer plotted to let members of an extremist group descend on his unit by giving them details of their whereabouts and security arrangements. He faces life at prison if convicted. America is listening to Fox News.
Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
Walk like us. They even talk like us. Walk like us. But they are not like us. On the weekday, you can see the signs, you can see the signs. They wear the disguise. Look into the mind's eye. There's nowhere to hide. No stick-covered lines. Whispers from afar.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for joining us. Rose was just saying how much she enjoyed the Fox News interlude. Rose, tell us about it.
Oh my goodness. You know, I just got to thinking, why is it that we are living in a realm where I'm crazy for imagining a world where human beings could actually be guided by principles? And just listening to all this, I think, is a hit piece on a false idea of what anarchy is. They're trying to make people think this is the expression of what true anarchy would be, when really it's the complete opposite. And so anyway, I got a little bit worked up over that, but let's move on.
People think that is what it is, and really what was going on there was communism.
Yeah, I would like to imagine a world where people can be guided by principles and understand the concept of self-defense in order to preserve a voluntary sense of order and communal gathering. And most people, when they hear me say that, think, oh, well, that would be nice if humans weren't humans. So I would like to sit here and imagine a world. I don't want to have the death of an imagination where we can't even imagine a world where humans can rise up and be more higher minded. We might not be there right now, but if we put that intention out there, maybe I don't know how many generations it would take.
I take my headphones off during the commercials. I don't listen at all.
Oh, okay. I'll start doing that.
How true do you think it is that the statement that some people just want to watch the world burn?
I think probably pretty true.
It's probably pretty
true. Don't we all have our moments when we just say we're just going to pop the popcorn? Sometimes I just feel like I'm watching it burn and I'm not happy about it. I don't want to see it, but it's like, oh wow, this is a clown show and it's self-destructing and I don't like it, but it's informative.
After my trip to Florida, I'm ready to let it burn.
But it seems so obvious to me that like the way that you would, if you believe that our intentions create reality, and we've seen that with the rice experiment, right? We've seen examples with water, how you can change the crystalline structure of frozen water by how you treat it, that we would have news reports that would be talking about the good that people do and the good in the world, and instead the news is just whatever crap they can put out there to just put it in people's minds. And of course, you've got the whole world watching the news, and the whole world has these negative thoughts, and the whole world has negative emotions, and then the world falls apart because of it. To me, it just seems like somebody at the top, that's their design.
That is by design. It's all by design. They can't have us knowing what we have the potential to be.
And what we have the potential to do. So they just keep making it so that everybody who's a normie who watches the media is constantly pissed or has negative energy towards something, whether it's negative energy towards whites, towards the blacks, towards the cops, towards, it doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, they don't care who you hate as long as hatefulness is inside you.
Well, you know what? That gets back to, this is what I really emphasize, Jeran, and everybody else is, this goes back in time to hoax cases like Jeffrey Dahmer. People don't even realize something like that was contrived, white man, a cannibal, eating black people, supposedly storing body parts in the fridge and freezer. They said they entered his apartment and they found a head in a pot, just a bunch of nonsense. Any way to put fear, to get in the emotions of people. And that's where people can go. And that's where the truth is, that they're, creating our reality, not covering organic things. And this is part of it. This is a huge part of it, of course, of the control aspect. And no matter what you tell people, they're still going to believe the nonsense that they're fed due to the ego, of course. Just they can't go where people can't go where the truth is. People will believe anything, but they won't believe the truth.
On the SGT report, some of the comments were, "I'm 20 seconds in, flat Earth, I'm out of here." And my response to that is, the truth isn't for everybody. Oh, or I would write, it's easy to fool somebody, but it's impossible to convince them they've been fooled when they refuse to look. But if you want to look, and I'll put a link. Hey, a bunch of people asked, where is it? SGT Report is a YouTube channel. It's the featured video on the app today. Anybody that has a little time, go over there. The comments are coming in fast and furious. And there's a lot of people that have never looked into Flat Earth asking serious questions. So if you can go over there, link them something, because Sean will allow links to be in comments. Go over there and help convert a few people, because that's what we need to do. So anyone that has time, go there and go through the comments and try to offer some good videos to people.
David, I just want to jump in here real quick. And, are you
going to be honest, though? Are you going to be honest?
I'm going to be dishonest this time. How about that?
Right. Go ahead.
No, in all seriousness, David, you have to realize, you said it many times where, when the flat Earth was first presented to you, you rejected it. You're someone that's covered 9/11, the event in Connecticut, Boston, and even you deep in the trenches of truth.
I said I used to be you. I say that all the time. I used to be you until I was forced to look. And then I'll say, check this out and let me know what you think. And I'm getting great responses.
But here, let me finish my point, David. What I'm saying is, this is we have to be realistic with the whole outlook. Even someone as yourself that was really involved with truth rejected in the beginning. So we really need to peck away at every angle. That's what I'm getting at. Peck away at all truths to get to this very important truth. That's why it was so easy for me to get involved with this. When I said to so many people, look, if it's headline, it's fake, and I'm covering so many of these psyops. So why would they be telling this truth about, of course, this fake phony ball Earth, where we know they're faking the moon landing, they're faking all the space, with ISS and all that. So why should we believe anything they're telling us? So what I'm getting at, it's a very easy transition to make when they're lying to us at every angle. And that's what's so very important to emphasize with people. It's not just one thing, it's everything.
Yeah, and it's the ultimate open slate for them to lie about when they get into these distances and space and what's going on, and things that people will never be able to verify. And really, when you think about it, it's just a stupid lie to start with, in the fact that nobody's ever going anywhere, nobody's traveling to a new planet, nobody's traveling to a new star system, and they act like there's so much importance in all that. It's just dumb more than anything.
Well, Jeran, it's like they talk about infinite space where it never ends. How would they know this? And people, everybody throughout this flat plane, they'll oh yeah, space is endless. It never ends. How would they know this? How can they verify it? People just repeat this stuff because someone, on TV said it. This has been the huge problem, of course, with society.
I saw on a Quora the other day, somebody asked somebody, how many suns are there in the universe? And the answer, of course, was there are an infinite number of suns in the universe. And I just die laughing when I see that shit. And people eat it up because it's like, oh, this is the best answer I've ever heard. It's so magical. There's not an infinite number of anything, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yeah. I think people just need to do a complete reset. And that's what I really emphasize, too, is, just start from scratch. If you want to get involved with truth, people cling on to a lot of nonsense hoaxes from the past. Like they'll speak some truth and they'll talk about JFK being a hero or anybody, any of these false narratives that were being fed, and they're still clinging on to a lot of stuff. So people need to rinse away everything and again start from scratch and basically reevaluate everything. And that's what people need to do when they get involved with truth.
Absolutely, you need to keep a skeptical eye of everything. Certainly things that you are presented from the media. That's the very, very first thing. You should never just say, nope, I'm believing this, because if it's coming to you from the media and it's the same thing on every channel you change it to, then it is designed that way for some reason. And it could be maybe a real event, but everything that you hear about is not going to be real. And they're going to change some things about it, and it's all going to be a way that it's presented to you to change your mind, to govern your mind. It's basically a way of mind control. And it's television programming. Well, let's take some calls. You guys want to take some calls?
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. Do you have something else to say?
No, I was going to say real quick before you take any calls, and I apologize, Jeran, is, I see people that I assume that are awake. They're getting a lot of things I tell them. Then I see this fake phony corona come out, and they're wearing a mask and stay at home. They're using that kind of as their profile on their, for example, Facebook or Twitter, whatever. I'm like, man, it's so disappointing when you think you see people that get it, and then they're falling for the latest tricks. It's sad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's happening everywhere. All right, we got a bunch of calls lined up, so let's go to 513. You've been on hold the longest. You're on with Jeranism RAW. What's up?
Hi, it's the little dancing bear again. And this time I have a funny story about COVID.
Okay.
All right, so I'm 17. I'm 17 and I've just graduated high school. And how my high school did the graduation was my headmaster and a few teachers went to my house. So while I was waiting, I was like, oh, please, I don't want them to ask me to wear a mask. Because I'd rather, not graduate high school than graduate with a mask on.
Right on.
And
nice.
Then,
I'll hire you. I'll hire you.
That'd be great. All right. So then they got there, and they did not ask me to wear a mask, which was great, but my headmaster was wearing one, and he had these gloves that, no joke, went up to his elbow. And the only thing I could think of is those gloves that they use to deliver cow babies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they stick
up
to
the
cows.
wolves had.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And so I was shaking his hand. The only thing I could think of was I'm gonna get afterbirth on my hands. This is disgusting.
Yeah, placenta.
So yeah, that's the story.
That's what serial killers wear too.
Yeah, Dexter. Oh man.
Yeah.
Good story, Grace. So, but you graduated, and I'm very happy that you would have rather not graduated than wore the mask. Many of us are right there.
It would have been like the final kick in the pants.
But you'd still get your diploma. You just wouldn't be walking.
Yes.
Well, you know what kills me about this, talking about graduation, of course, is the graduation cap itself. It's the Order of Freemasonry.
Yes.
You know, the diploma, the degree. You get a degree just like Masonry. It's all this, Masonic, influence.
Mortarboard you wear on your head?
I'm sorry?
The mortarboard that you wear on your head?
Yep, that's the basis of Masonry, and it's basically stating, it's basically stating you've been indoctrinated in this Masonic lie system, and they're wearing their head. They have no idea why they're wearing this mortarboard on their head. They have no idea. They just, this is what people do when they graduate. I'll throw this ridiculous looking hat on my head, and I'm gonna, be happy and excited that I graduated. But they don't know. They just been indoctrinated in the lie system.
ARV, is it also reminiscent of the cube since it's a square on top? Is that part of it as well? That's what I thought.
It's duality with the cube, and of course it's black, and just like the the judges wear the black robes. I mean, everything is just, our whole society has Masonic influences and sayings and hand signs and symbols. It's literally everywhere. Everywhere. People are blind to it.
I have never worn a uniform like that at all. I was always against anything like that. I don't like that stuff at all.
Yeah, and this is the sad thing, is that people are wearing it. They're very proud wearing that mortarboard on their head. And again, they don't understand. It's considered an insult. When you see people, Masons, like for example, famous Masons, and they go to university, they don't wear that. That's meant as, again, mockery and ridicule. It's a disgrace. They wear the rounded caps. Like, for example, even Bill Cosby, who's taken part of a lot of psychological operations, he wears a simple baseball cap. He doesn't wear that ridiculous mortarboard on his head. And many celebrities. Look at Bono. Just look at a lot of celebrities over the years when they go to these graduations. They're wearing like a soft flat hat. That's not the mortarboard. So it could be many variations, but you're not going to see someone high up wearing one of these ridiculous hats.
Yeah, it's actually a satanic practice as well, really. It's the whole idea of bringing light to the, it's a whole Gnostic thing. All right, let's go to the next call, 504. You're on the air. What's up? Did I pick up the wrong?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
We can hear you.
How's it going? Yeah, I can hear you fine. This is Dennis from Oregon. I got a question actually for Jason.
What's up?
Yeah, I saw both of you. Yeah, back at the conference in Dallas last November. Yeah. I'm going to be in New Orleans in 6 months because my wife is there. I'm going to pick her up, bring her back to Oregon. And I was wondering, would it be possible, I don't know what the status is of the Flat Earth community down in New Orleans. Maybe we could, I was thinking we could meet up. I'd take you out to eat, but I thought better we could, if you're down with it, we could do a meetup. And I'd like to do the center of it would be an informational presentation on pre-Robotham flat earthism and videotape it, and Mark Sargent could upload it and make a video of it, because I've got a lot of information that I've been collecting on years for that subject that I think the flat earth community on the whole, with all respect, is largely ignorant about. So I'd like to fill that gap. also, if we can do this, John Davis, who from the old Flat Earth Society, the Internet, the old one, from that started in 2005. He's one of the better. I think he's the secretary of it, but he's one of the good eggs from that. He lives in Tennessee, but he might be able to make it to that if we could do the meetup. I don't know where, if we did it, I don't know where you'd want to hold it, at a club in New Orleans or Covington. My little brother has a house in Mandeville, but I'm thinking if it had people, probably at a club or a venue in either Metairie or New Orleans, or a venue in Covington. But what do you think?
Well, I like the idea, and Rose and I have already talked about doing meetups and things like that. So the best thing we could do is try and coordinate. My email is secretsofsaturn@gmail.com. Send me a message there with who you are so I know, and then let's take it from there, and we'll figure it out. I'm definitely down for something, and if people want to travel to do a little presentation, I'm down for that. And I've got all the gear. I could do very high-quality recordings.
All right, thanks, Dennis. So email Jason, and that's a great idea, and I think we should have more meetups, especially right now where it doesn't look like there's going to be an official conference, at least this year. 418, you're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yes, Daniel here.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, first of all, yes, sorry for last week. You picked up my call, and I was on the other line, so you heard some rough discussion in French, so sorry about that. And the 2 prior weeks I was sleeping, so sorry for sleeping on your show. I'm sorry. So, but anyway, good things happening. I just want to let you know that it's as crazy in Quebec as it is in some states in the U.S. But I'm deeply involved with a genius who has Tesla technologies in his families that were transferred by Tesla himself maybe 80 years ago. So I got some great gifts recently, and what has helped me go through the madness of what's happening, and it's tough for me because as you know, I'm blind, and that's every day I'm reminded of that, and I would so much like to see what's happening, but in some ways it's better that I don't, because I knew something very weird like that will probably happen, and I can't believe it's happening. So, but getting back to what's keeping my mental stability throughout all that is that I'm a fan of Nikola Tesla, and I ask for his guidance every day, and also I use the good herb every day, so my pineal gland is open, so my eyes are unable to see what's happening, but my inner vision is guided by some higher forces, and we have blessings, but the news are not reporting on that. So hang in there, people. I love this show. It's my lighthouse through all that madness, and I'm happy I'm still here to listen to your show. So please have a good night, people, and see you next week.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Awesome, Daniel.
Yeah, can I jump in real quick? With Daniel, I find it's like the movie They Live with the blind preacher man who can see, and he's talking to people with eyes that can't see. So great to hear Daniel chime in and say what he said.
Absolutely. Let's go to 409. You're on the air. What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Just curious. Did y'all hear about the 2 guys that got shot off of a 5G tower?
Oh, no.
2 workers.
No, where was this?
In Florida. Just Google it. Yeah, it's in Florida. Just Google it. It was a couple of days ago, but it's just now kind of making its way out. That's just something for y'all to look into. Also, just a curiosity. So all these cases are spiking, allegedly. So I'm just curious, what verification is happening? Let's say a business shuts down. Locally, your bar shut down because somebody came in and told the owners of the bar that they had COVID and had exposed all of their patrons the night before, which was allegedly 30-some-odd people. So do they provide documentation? I mean, how does this happen Or does the bar owner just take these people's word for it? Or how's this happening?
Anybody
Well, a lot of it has to do with the bullshit testing, right?
Yeah, and there's so many.
Yeah, well, whether there's a test or not, how is that being verified? If I own a bar, is somebody actually going to produce to me a positive COVID test? And how do I know that they didn't just go to their computer and type it up and said, hey, I got a positive COVID test. Shut your bar down.
You don't.
Because do you think you could really call a doctor's office? The doctor's office is not going to answer your questions.
No.
That's against the rules.
It's against HIPAA.
We have no way of verifying any of this shit.
No.
Anyway, I'm done.
No,
we know this is all bullshit. This is the bottom line. I mean, we're always throwing examples out, but let's be blunt here. COVID is bullshit. It's bullshit. This is not
100%.
real. This is a freaking hoax.
100%.
Well, about 2 weeks ago, suddenly, Texas has been pretty in the clear. Out of left field, all these kids go down to the Frio River, okay? Thousands and thousands of them, right? Now, there are a lot of other rivers in Texas, a lot of other beaches, a lot of other crap where there were thousands and thousands of people. But COVID selected the Frio River, and dozens of people came home from the Frio with this shit, right? Now, I don't know why it selected the Frio River and not any of these other places. I mean, what are the odds some guy's walking around in the crowd going, hey, I'll pay you $500 to go tell your employer when you get back home or your school or your mom or your dad that you got COVID? There's no way to prove that.
Did you, Russian Viz, did you see the D.L. Hughley passing out on stage?
Yeah,
From
it looked
COVID?
like a freaking mannequin. It looked so fake and
It's
phony.
so
What was
fake.
that about?
It's so fake. It's just,
Yeah.
Yes, that was totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
Totally ridiculous. Anyway, look into that 5G tower. It's in Florida. It's on, it's kind of low in the headlines, but it's there if you just Google it.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat, and I was thinking that it was poppycock because it might be the intent would be to make 5G activists look crazy. But now, as I'm going through the article again, it actually doesn't mention the beliefs of the shooter. Some woman just randomly shot two dudes doing an upgrade to the tower. So who knows?
Yeah, there's who knows, and that could be fake too. You don't know. Maybe that's part of the psyop. Hey, look, all these people that don't like 5G, they're nuts. They're going to go out and kill people. Right. You don't like 5G, put something on your Facebook page, we're going to come knock on your door and give you a little talk to.
Yeah, and probably vaccinate you at the same time.
Guys, that's common. Don't think it's not. We've turned the page here. I hate to say it, but I think that's where we're at. This shit is all being rolled out now under the guise of we're going to keep you safe.
Of course. All right, thanks,
Yeah.
Carl. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Looks like I got what is this? What did I get? I got a Venmo payment from Baller Dave who says, please put Joe Mama in a timeout. Why do you need to do that? Oh, wait.
All that I have is trouble.
Joe Mama, come on. He's a good guy. Why would I put him in a timeout? Do I have to
We
do
love
that?
Joe Mama. He represents the 805.
Yeah. Let's see here. Are we at a break yet? No. Should we try another call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to... God, now I don't know where we just were. I'm going to wait on that one just because they're from Australia. How about 505? Or didn't we take your call earlier? Is this Grace again? 505.
Hey, Jeran, hey, Dave and crew.
What's up?
Hey.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, go.
You got
Hey,
1
guys.
minute.
Thanks for doing everything. I'm mainly listening tonight, and I just want to say thank you. And Dave, right on. It's all about flat Earth, so I appreciate you guys keeping it on topic. And yeah, keep doing what you guys do. Truth's got to get out there. And go ahead.
No, I appreciate that, and it is all about flat Earth, but it's not. There's so many things that are more important, but the underlying thing is flat Earth. If you can be fooled to believing that you live on a spinning ball in the middle of nowhere where nothing exploded and you're insignificant, you can be fooled into anything.
Absolutely. Right on, brother.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Dowsing is the ancient science of finding water and metal underground. Albert Einstein said that dowsing was tapping into earth energies which modern science as yet does not understand. Diamonds, silver, gold, and platinum objects have all been found using dowsing. And now, for the first time on film, we visit the pyramids, Stonehenge, and ancient sites, dowsing for buried treasure and tapping into this mysterious earth energy.
The Enigma Channel. Intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We've got Russian Vids, RV Truth here. We've got Jason. We've got Rose. We've got Dave.
I got to start listening to the commercials because there's a lot going on with you guys during the breaks.
You know, they make you want to hang yourself. And Jason's exactly right, man. They're just peddling this get the tea and Extendivite. And I mean, these things must be.
What is the tea? I always hear the beginning of it. Is it tea?
I've been hearing that for so many freaking years, dude. You guys are on this network still, so I probably shouldn't be bitching about, but she's like, oh my God. Just...
Yeah, you go ahead and bitch all you want. I'm not very happy with my current standing here, but they're allowing me an open platform, and I also just feed it into YouTube, so it's kind of, I use it for the call board. Let's be honest here.
That part is good. I agree.
The call board's good, so I use it for that. Thank you, by the way, to Baller Dave. He did send me a $100 Venmo, and he wants me very bad to block or delete Joe Mama, but I'm certainly not going to do that. So sorry, Baller Dave, but I like Joe Mama too much to do that, so I'm not going to do it. But thank you for that huge Venmo super chat. It's very awesome, and it's great because Google didn't take 30% of it, so it's even better. All right, should we get back to the phones? Anybody?
Yeah.
Bueller? Yes. All right, I believe we're going to somebody who's currently upside down. I don't know how they're sticking to the ball Earth, but they are somehow in Australia. You're on with Jeranism RAW. Aussie.
What's going on, Jeran? Jason Rose, Dave, Arvie. This is Lincoln from South Australia. How are you, team?
What's up, Lincoln?
Hello.
How's it going?
Great to talk with you guys.
Great. What's going on down there? Out there?
I just wanted to touch base with you guys. Yeah, out there. Across there. That's what I say, man. I'm so glad that all you guys, I sub to you all, that you're all on the same channel at the same time, and you guys just throw out some fantastic material. About 2 weeks ago, we had a young autistic lad go missing in the Australian bushland, and it made the news. He was missing for 2 nights in sub-zero temperatures, and hundreds and hundreds of volunteers found him in really, really like angelic conditions. Apparently, he was incredible. He was barefooted, and I broke that story down on my YouTube channel on the bakery of the media coverage. All the mum could say is the first thing he wanted was McDonald's, and they throw back to the news team. They're like, well, he got his McDonald's chicken nuggets and his Big Mac, and he's a happy young man. I broke it down because 50% of the time here in the outback of South Australia, I work night shift, and I wear thermals, 2 sets of clothes with PPE, 2 sets of socks and protective boots. There's no way this kid could have survived in sub-zero temperatures in a tracksuit barefooted. So I fully broke it down, and I got a great response on my YouTube. It's fantastic.
Gosh, well, I wish you had said it was a hoax in the beginning, because I got really emotional at the beginning of your story.
Well, that's how they get you.
I'm so sorry, Rose. I picked up on
it's
that.
Okay.
That's how they get you. They deal with kids and emotional stuff. And once your emotional brain kicks in, if you're not, a real, honest, awake truther, you get lost in that emotional drama.
What made me the most emotional was thinking about the hundreds of people looking for the kid. So that part, was that true? Because there was the story, and then everyone felt compelled to help. So that's what makes me the most happy. And if that part's real, then that's great. But it's sad that they were wasting their time if he wasn't really gone.
Yeah, for sure. Most of them were, SES, like I guess emergency services volunteers. But it's just funny. You never saw him be carried out of the bush. You just saw him being carried out of a car. It was so fake. It's hilarious. If you want to check it out, it's on my YouTube, Lincoln Sharp. I think it's Lincoln Sharp Music or Lincoln Sharp. But hey, love this. I would love some subscribe. I'm getting into it. I'm making some videos, and I'd love some shout outs. And always great to hear you guys for sure. Always.
Nice. One more time, because it's hard to hear what you're saying. Your channel name is Lincoln Sharp. Spell it for us.
SHARPE, and I'm linking it.
Okay, thank you. We got it.
SHARPE. Yeah, that's it, guys. I touch base with you and Jace quite a bit. You guys are fantastic. All of you guys. I really appreciate what you do.
I love you, man.
Thanks so much.
Take care, man.
I think there was a story like that recently. I don't know if you guys heard the one in the States where some boy was found. They say he was protected by a bear. You heard that one? I don't know if you guys heard that one. Just like some boy.
What about baby Jessica?
Oh, in the well? Oh, boy. It's so great.
Did truth go down the well again? God damn it.
It always ends up there. Let's go to, I believe we're on to 541. You're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this? 541. In Oregon. Hello. Okay, goodbye. 303. You're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this?
Hey, this is your buddy Algorithm. How are you?
What's up? How are you?
Doing good. I have a question for all of you, if you are willing to take the challenge. I'm really curious, what does September look like
in the U.S. and in the Western world, given everything that's going on, where we are, where we came from 5 months ago. I wonder if any of you have an opinion about where we're headed.
A prediction?
Wow, prediction time.
Have you been listening to Crow 777?
No, well, I do. I listen to you and Crow, but not this week. I had to work too many hours. But I was just curious. It seems we're headed on a trajectory that is probably not good for humanity. But I was wondering what you guys thought, because everybody here who's on this stream right now and in TFR is really good at discerning nonsense. So I just wondered what you guys thought.
Well,
and I can
I'll tell
take
you
the
what.
answer off air so you can get to another caller.
Great, thanks for the call. Appreciate it, Algorithm. Okay, who's up first? Here?
Algorithm.
I'll jump in.
Okay.
I always look at, how the psychopaths work, and I talk about, throughout history, how things fall during fall towers, the stock market. I wouldn't be surprised September, maybe even October, a little bit further, a little bit more turmoil. I always say this, I don't have the script, it's like we're watching a movie, literally, and we're just playing the guessing game, and to point it out and say this exactly is going to happen. I've seen too many people try to pinpoint things. We can only guess, basically, but just know whatever's going to happen is planned out to happen that way. And I really don't think they're doing all this and everything will just, get back to normal and be flatline. Again, we'll wait. We have to wait and see, but expect something. I wouldn't say September. I would say look for October or something. That's just my guess. October.
RV, what do you think about, everything with all the predictions of Trump being the last president, the Trump card, the Illuminati card deck, the Economist cover, that all of this is running into the election. They played the COVID card, They played the race card. Now they're going to divide us, as Crow was talking about in his last interview, with the right and left with the election. Maybe throw a nice false flag in there if I spread enough flat earth truth.
That's a good question, David. And I know where you're getting at. And with all the predictions, I look at predictive programming when it comes to Obama. Look at the old Seinfeld episode, and there's a depiction of Obama, Barack Obama. I mean, spot on the back with that poster, painting, whatever it was. In there was it the dining room or living room, and then you see, of course, them together in a limo, laughing their butts off. If you see my video on that, of course, we've seen the predictive programming with The Simpsons and Lisa Simpson playing the role of like Hillary Clinton, basically stating how the country's broke due to President Trump. And that's something I was going to say for a video, but I'll say it now, where basically it looks like there's a possibility that Hillary could come into play. Like I said, this is not, a quote prediction, but this is predictive programming that I've seen from The Simpsons, where Hillary takes over after Trump. So that's a possibility, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And definitely, like I said, I think it's a huge mistake when people say they give exact dates or they say this is going to happen for sure. You're just setting yourself up to look bad, because we really don't know. And I think someone wants to it's like to win the lottery. They want to predict something. They want to be so right about something. And like hopefully hit the jackpot and get it right, when it's just you're again setting yourself up to look bad by making prediction like, oh, something's going to happen in Seattle on this date. I don't do that. I would rather say there's a possibility something can happen on this date, but we don't know. That's a better way, because you're making the whole truth community look bad when you give exact dates of this happening and nothing happens. Then you just ruin your credibility.
We've got through, or maybe we're not through it yet, is the winter, the summer solstice, which was yesterday, but it could be tomorrow, could be the day before, who knows. And then we have the equinox to get through in September, right? That's the equinox, September?
Yeah, well, don't forget the great conjunctions coming up at the end of this year too. And you think that after the falls, you're gonna see the setup. They're gonna put their energy out there for what it is that they want. Don't forget, that's when a lot of the censorship went down in the past couple of years. And then once they do that great conjunction, you think they're gonna let something like that pass, because they know,
right?
They know.
Right.
But one thing I gotta mention. Hold on, David. One thing I gotta mention is expect the unexpected. when things are so predictable, you know, they throw us a curveball. So always remember that as well.
Well, I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen. It just is something going to happen. And with all of these things, like, who would have predicted this whole Corona thing? I mean, now that we look at it, it makes, you know, we should have seen it coming, but I mean, could we have seen it coming? But with all of these conjunctions, the planetary alignment, everything, the number one thing that tells me something's going to happen is Brian Austin Lambert is releasing all of his material to everybody now for free because he says the end is here.
Wow.
They lie to us because we allow them to lie.
That's all I get. That's it.
Oh yeah, is he really doing that?
He really is doing that. Him and Mia are releasing all of their information in the next couple days because we're close to the MCO.
Oh, so it's no longer $300 a month.
It's out there for everybody.
I don't know who that is, so sounds like
Poppycock.
Was he from 90210?
No, what's that? That's Brian Austin Green.
Oh.
Lincoln Sharp says, thanks heaps for the chat, guys, and thanks at Rose. And then he gives us his his email, lincolnsharp@yahoo. And you can click on his name if you want to find his channel and learn about this surviving baby. But yeah, I think RV's got it dead on when he says these guys are psychopaths. I mean, that's all you need to know, period. And unless we stand up, unless we say no, they're going to continue to get away with this. So the more they get away with, too, the more they're going to push it. My hope is that they, try and pull off something. I would have thought people would stood up for being locked in their house for months. That didn't happen. So I don't know what it's going to take to get people to say, all right, enough's enough. Doesn't look like it's coming.
You know, Jeran, that they love playing with the world. Like I said many times, they could, of course, just print money out of nothing. It's not about money to them. It's about power, control, and manipulation. They're just having fun. They're just like
people are so stupid. They think that they can, that you can just have a shutdown like this, and then the government can print money for everybody, and everything will just go back to normal. They don't understand that if you just print money, print it, and they've already done this and printed trillions, that all prices will go up because money.
7 trillion.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. How do people not understand what's going on here? That's the worst thing you could possibly do. And the worst thing you could possibly do for money at all is to ever print another dollar.
If that 7 trillion had zero interest to it and they paid $1 every second, how long would that be? 5 seconds.
210,000 years.
250,000 years.
I was close.
Very good. I'll give it to you. Right, close enough. You were within 40,000 years. Close enough.
Astronomically speaking, it's close enough. All right, let's go to another call. 208. You're on Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Let's try and move through these a little faster because we have a lot to go through. 208. What's up?
Yeah, Jeran, this is the guy that has the friend in Antarctica.
Oh yeah, what's up?
I called you a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Well, he has got back from his walkabout yet, so when he gets back, I'll try to get a hold of him. But
all right, good deal then.
And then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. I'm a little hesitant to even bust his chops because he's such a secretive weirdo. Because he's been in the Antarctic since '81.
Okay.
And then he was a submariner before that. But the other thing was, real quick, you guys could address maybe. I did some rehashing some old, evolution Christian debates, and every one of them is like just stuck to this present cosmology, bendy time unicorn parts. It just kind of blows my mind. Every one of them. I think Rob Steve is the only Christian.
Yeah, that was their big step, right? Convincing the Christian world that they lived on a ball was huge for their arguments, because now in any kind of argument for evolution, they're all talking, bendy space time and spinning balls in space. So they did the job. They did.
Yeah, and you know what's amazing? Not so much these guys that listen to, because they were lecturing on biology and stuff against evolution, but it's amazing how many people's just demeanor changes. Like Kent Hovind just goes into freak out mode over, he obviously believes in Einstein's physics too, which is, is like a fairy tale. But anyway, I just thought.
But they've all been
I don't know.
convinced of it, and Hovind's taught it. Hovind's a teacher, so it's hard for him to admit that he was teaching incorrectly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It was part of his, but it's amazing how he taught other sciences and caught on, but didn't. I don't know. It's, I guess, the cognitive dissonance. You don't want to give it all up. I don't know. Right. Anyway, they closed. They shut down the Idaho State Fair and put us back into stage 3. So I was screaming at everybody today, "Go! You're going to get what you deserve." And I was kind of a little bit out of control today. So you hear of a madman being.
I can't imagine myself being stopped in store as I was today. All right. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, if you hear of a 3, you bet. You have a good day.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Let's go to 530. What's up, my friend in California? How are you?
Hey there, Jeran. This is William. Yes, but I am not in California right now.
What the hell? Get back here.
I'm sorry. I had to do an experiment.
Saying no to wearing masks.
Well, I had to do an experiment. So I'm on the East Coast.
Okay.
So my flight over, I took over 100 pictures. Had a window seat. By the way, David, I did not wear a mask.
Good for you.
And I was the only one.
How'd it feel?
I was the only one that did. And as I walked on board, the guy said, "Oh, sir, do you have a mask?" And I'm like, "Oh, I actually can't wear one." And he said, "Oh, okay." And so that's been my whole experience here on the East Coast. They say you're supposed to wear a mask inside every store. There was just one store today that said I couldn't do it. And guess which one that was? Walmart. Wow. So every other store I've been in on the East Coast, they say, "Sir, do you have a mask?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can't wear one." And they go, "Oh, okay." But I have my handkerchief and I hold it to be polite in case I sneeze. I'm not going to be an ass, right? So, well, the guy didn't know what to do. Rose, my friend that was with me, he was like, so I kept walking, and then I could tell he went and talked to someone, and then a manager lady was saying, "Sir." I turned around, I'm like, "Yeah, you can't be in here." And I'm like, "Where's your mask? And why don't you have one?" I'm like, "Oh, I just can't wear one." And they go, "Well, then you need a shield." I'm like, "I don't have a shield." They're like, "Well, sir, you can't be in here." I'm like, "Oh, I'll be very quickly." And I turn around and go back in the store. "Sir, we'll call the cops." I'm like, "What?" "Yes, sir, we'll call the cops." And I'm like, "Well, okay, I guess I won't be shopping in Walmart." So I waited for my friend.
Sorry about that. I actually went to Walmart the other day, walked right in. No one said anything. I was walking around. A guy came up to me. He goes, "Sir, would you, I can get you a mask if you'd like." And I said, "No, thank you." And I just turned and walked away, and he left me alone.
Dave, do you think the next step is going to be them requiring shields of people who won't wear masks?
Oh my God, the whole shield thing.
I don't know. So the last thing I wanted to mention, guys, is those photos I took from coast to coast, from California to Maryland. Many cloud storms, lots of storm systems for the summer solstice. But even when I came and broke through clouds, the smog was so thick on the ground, the horizon was unobservable from coast to coast. There was no discernment, and it was horrible looking. And I literally took tons of pictures. So, you could, that way you can't say, "Well, you just didn't take enough pictures," but I did.
Could be by design.
So anyway. Huh?
It could be by design. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Jeran. All I know is that I had no way, how Mark said, "Well, take a picture, put it line to the horizon." Well, you can't do that no more. Mm-hmm. I was unable to do that. I looked through that window for all 5 hours and could not do it. So I just thought that was fascinating. So I just wanted to let you know about that. So it's been an interesting trip. And then my one friend, good friend from the military, I told him about the FE movement. And so it was pretty cool. He took it in and didn't judge me. And
didn't institutionalize you?
No, sir. In fact, I'm an honored guest in the house. So, yes. So it felt good. I was a little nervous, but I just started off with the Bible. And he's been studying the Bible lately, too. And I went from there and just, I'd say, in about 2 hours, 3 hours, I kind of went through the whole 5-year journey with this. And and he said don't. And so now when I talk about that other subject, he says, dude, you don't have to be ashamed of it. He goes, just say what it is. I'm like, okay. So yeah, good. He's a good guy. And so, yeah, that was kind of cool. So,
all right. Thanks for the call.
All right. We have, this show's going to end pretty soon, but just before we do, remember you can listen to RV tonight in an hour, right, RV?
That's correct. I'll be on Dark Matter Radio.
Yeah,
and with PK. Yeah, thank you. And with PK, we'll be discussing many topics, of course. All that's going on, like we're discussing tonight, and we're going to go back in the past a bit as well, covering past psyops as well.
Sweet. Jason, you have anything coming up you need to let people know?
Yeah, our next show on Coach 7 Radio is with Eileen McCusick, and we're going to be recording in 2 days with James True, and we're going to be discussing, I don't know if you guys heard, I picked up a couple books, one of which was a Masonic Bible, and there's this whole interesting section in the beginning on King Solomon's Temple and all that, so we're going to do an episode with James True and discuss Solomon's Temple and the links with Masonry.
Nice. You got a physical copy of the Masonic?
Yeah, they're not like hard to come by. If you look on eBay, you'll find them. I just happened to get lucky and got one for $15, and this one in particular is a blue cover. They're pretty common. This one's from about 1970. That's when the person who used to own it was initiated. It's got all that written in the beginning, and there's this whole interesting section in the beginning that I have to finish reading yet, all discussing King Solomon's Temple and Hiram Abiff and all that good Masonic interesting stuff.
All right, looking forward to that. And David and Rose, obviously, we got them tomorrow at 4 Eastern with cousin. Now I forgot his name. Nick?
Cousin Mike. And a lot of my friends call him Weird Mike. Kelsey calls him Weird Mike. And he also obviously knows my mom, but he knows Drea and Rebecca. So he has met all the people that have been flat smacked thus far. But he has not seen their flat smacking.
Should we try and take a call or no? Okay, go ahead.
No. I want to say something. Again, everybody, if you can go to the SGT report and comment, help out a few people there, leave some comments. I will be on with Rose tomorrow at 4 p.m. Then with Jeran on the Nathan Saltman Show on Dark Matter Radio on Wednesday night at midnight Eastern, 9 West, your time, Jeran. Yeah. And then on Saturday at 11 a.m., I'm going to be on with James True on his live stream. Ooh. And then after that, we're back here, and it's Monday, and then I'm going away on my retreat, so that's going to be great.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some great stories from that. We'll try and take another call. You have just a minute, 805. What's up? 805.
My homeland, come through.
San Luis Obispo.
San Luis.
805, going once, going twice.
You guys hear me?
Oh, you go.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, just wanted to ask real quick what you guys thought it would take to give a shot at, let's say we had an elite endurance athlete taking a shot at the ice wall. What would it take to get, say, those 300 miles past the Antarctic wall? If we could take a ship there, what type of athlete, I guess, it would take to get to the wall?
All right, thanks. Good call, good question. I think it's incredibly impossible if what they've told us and what we see down there is true. If you're talking about uphill climbing, if you're talking about...
But that guy did it with a 500-pound sled without using a compass.
And using skis and the wind blew him.
And he was able to film himself from the distance, put a camera there, climb up, climb back up, get the camera.
The guy that showed up on Joe Rogan's show talking about it, that guy?
Yeah.
The 33-year-old guy?
Yeah, of course.
At 33 years old. That was a joke. I mean, you expect some kind of blisters or some kind of effect. The guy just looked like he got back from the Bahamas. Nothing wrong with them. Like some kind of you're in this cold region, ice cold freezing, and he just looked like he got out of a sauna. What a joke that was.
Yep.
All
right, everybody.
Later. Have a good show, bro.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Jeranism RAW with Jeran and Missa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Ra Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Iron